I feel bad that it's almost become a trope of this channel for me to disappear months at a time, only to come back at 3:30 a.m. on a random morning after I've watched something that has blew my mind. And this is Fallout, guys. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm a big gamer. I mean, I wouldn't say don't know, because most of you guys who are watching are my friends. But if you somehow are new, yes, I'm a gamer. I've gamed all my life. I'm an only child. I had a game or I'd lose my mind. And I grew up loving Fallout. Now, when I say grew up, I'm not talking about 2008 Fallout 3 drops. I'm 8 years old. I'm playing Fallout. No, I did start a little late, which was Fallout 4. But I just remember going in to Fallout 4, I already knew so much about the story, but I've never played the games. The story and lore of Fallout is one of my favorites in any form of media. It's just so in-depth. The storylines behind it, like the vaults, the day of the bombs dropping, ghouls, the Brotherhood of Steel, like all these different factions and how they mesh, and the stories in each game is truly incredible. And so when I heard that they're making a Fallout TV show, I was worried. Video game, we're almost at that point where video game movies and TV shows aren't looked at as like usually bad, but we're still kind of in that era. Now, we did have Sonic, which was amazing. The Mario movie was great, and most recently in the show that I'm going to be comparing this to the most, because it is the best adaptation, is The Last of Us. The Last of Us came out last year. It was a hit, critically acclaimed. Fans loved it. Fans of the game, new fans like my mom loved it. She had never even heard of Last of Us, and it just set the precedent for that video game movies can be good. Also, Dungeons and Dragons movie came out, which was good too. But so I had hope, and I heard that Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, was making it, and the more I kept seeing set photos and behind the scenes stuff get leaked, the more hyped I was for it. I was seeing sets like the Brotherhood of Steel armor, the Quickie Mart, Nuka-Cola, the vaults, physical sets. I mean, they had physical like Brotherhood, like power armor just walking around. And the more I watched, I heard from Jonathan Nolan and all that, and the more I heard about how much of a mega fan he is of the game, I finally got to calm down, and I kind of went into this with high hopes, but it wasn't like, I think this show's going to be ass. It was more like, I genuinely think this show's going to be good. I did start it a little late, so I already heard some fan reviews saying that it was amazing, but I just love when media that is based on like a video game, especially, like just owns up to it. Like, it makes its own story, but you can tell they love the lore. Like a perfect example also is the Halo show. The Halo show, in my opinion, is pretty trash. The action's pretty cool at times. Like, the story is terrible. And now they did say that it wasn't set in the game's canon, which in my opinion was a mistake. And I think that's why Fallout is such a good TV show, because it's literally set in the same universe. Like, it's like 10 years after Fallout 4. You get references to other games, and it's crazy because you're like, oh my god, I've played through. It's like you're that person almost. Then Halo, like, it wasn't even in the universe, and they had Master Chief, but then like the leader of the Covenant was a woman, and I'm like, and Chief always has his helmet off. I'm like, this is not it. And they kept trying to give excuses for each little thing they did, but like hardcore fans truly were disappointed with that. And it's just so good to see the Fallout community get a W. Fallout's been in a weird state since Fallout 76 dropped. If you guys don't know, Fallout's community is actually one of the most popular and like most like actually nice communities. It's like usually with gaming communities you get like the toxic people, and obviously there's toxic people in Fallout, but I'd say like 90% of Fallout fans genuinely, like, yeah, they'll shit talk it sometimes, but if something hits in the Fallout universe, it's not like the Star Wars fan base where like they can't admit that the show hits, right? They're gonna like, I just see people like, man, I'm so happy this show's good because we love Fallout and we love the world. Editor Joey here. I just want to say a quick story about me proving this point. I played Fallout 76 by myself, and if you don't know, Fallout 76 is meant to play with people, and I had power armor, and I had no batteries for it, and I was literally just having to walk because I was over encumbered. I couldn't fly or anything, and I asked for help. This random person, God bless his soul, flies down with power armor, drops down, opens a crate, gives me like 30 fusion cores, does like a little emote, and flies off, fucks off into the sunset. And that was the most badass shit I've ever seen, and like the most friendliest thing I've ever been a part of, which was in a Fallout game. So that's the type of people that, we encounter in this fan base. And it's just so cool. So this show, I'm not going to go into like spoilers heavy. I haven't even finished the show, honestly, guys. I haven't. And that's a mistake, but I'm just so blown away by the show already that I had to talk about it on here. It's just so cool to me. And I'm not even going to be talking about like, oh, the cinematography and stuff, which I'll mention, but like, to me, I just get so much joy seeing people in this show do stuff that I did in the games. It's just crazy to me. Like, she gets hurt in one of the episodes, right? The main girl, Lucy. And in my head, I'm like, oh, just stim pack. She goes to the bathroom in the vault, and it's just like the game. The window, there's the med kit right next, and there's a stim pack, and she stim packs herself. Same sound and everything. Truly incredible. I was blown away. I just couldn't. Like, it's nothing like special. Like, it's almost like I should be like, oh, well, of course she would do that. But to see, like, you could tell that the people actually cared. Like, the vaults look just like the games. I'm gonna throw up a couple pics here, but it's like they did a really good job of bringing this world to life. I mean, the Pit Boys, the vault, the outside world. It's so cool. We're back in California, and they do respect the lore. Some people forget that this game takes place 10 years after Fallout 4. It is like the farthest end of the timeline we're kind of at. And so I saw people like, well, they do this, they destroy this city from my favorite game. No, like, this is all like they retcon canon. There might be some little canon things here and there, but the main integrity of the canon is not broken. And I love that. I love that because they could have easily just been like, fuck Fallout 4, fuck New Vegas, fuck Fallout 3, and just do our own thing and rewrite stuff. But I'm so glad they didn't, because then it just makes it such an enjoyable experience. The actors, I mean, everyone's amazing. The main overseer, who's the dad, I forgot his name. He plays Paul Atreides in the original Dune. He's fantastic. Ella Purnell, who's the lead, she's actually been underrated in my opinion. I've raved about her for years, since like 2016. I saw her in the Peculiar Kids or whatever that movie is from Tim Burton back in like when I was in a film class in high school. And she instantly just grabbed my attention in that movie because she was so good, especially like acting with her eyes. Walter Goggins is my favorite in this show. And like I said, I haven't even finished the damn show. He is truly, I love him first off. I mean, he was in The Hateful Eight, and then he's Cecil in Invincible. Right there. But in this show, he just blows me away. I do want to talk about mainly the opening scene. Now, I've mentioned a couple times on this channel, and it's obvious. I'm not trying to act like, oh, I know this and you don't. Opening scenes are the most important thing in any medium, especially TV shows. A pilot is what makes your TV show and makes your fans. That's why Breaking Bad, the first shot you see is the pants flying, and immediately everyone's glued. Because everyone's like, what the hell? Walking Dead, it didn't start off with Rick getting shot. It got started with Rick, after the events of the pilot episode, shooting a little girl walker. And that's immediately like, wow, that's a kid, and he shot her. I instantly know what kind of show this is going to be. This show starts off the day of the Great War. I think they call it the Great War. Am I mixing up my games? I'm pretty sure it's called the Great War. If you guys don't know, it was the war in the games that it was like the day of, like D-Day basically, where all the nukes went off. It only lasted like 1 or 2 hours, and no one really knows where the nukes went off, and they just started bombing everywhere. We've only seen like before the apocalypse, like a couple times in commercials, and mainly in Fallout 4, where you start off on the day of in Boston, and then you run to the vault. And so this is cool because we get about 5, almost 10 minutes before the bombs fall, and this build-up is insane. Like, you almost instantly know, okay, this is the day, October 23rd, 2077, and you instantly know that this is it. And you keep hearing like little radios about them talking about how, Alaska liberated, and you're like, oh my god, I know about that from the games. Like, it's so good because if you're not a fan of the games, you still get the grasp of what's going on. Something happened in Alaska between some nations, and now we're at a Cold War, basically. But if you're a fan of the games, you get these little tiny tweaks. And seeing the newscaster just doing weather, and he's like, what's the point if there's not going to be a next week? It's just so crazy to me because Fallout 4 was praised for this. I remember being so immersed in Fallout 4 when I got it. This was my first Fallout game, like I said. Because you're playing and you're watching the news, and literally he just all of a sudden says there's been multiple detonations in Pennsylvania and Washington D.C. and you're seeing this in the show, and the scene where the bomb finally goes off is so good. There's a shot, I'll put it up here, of like Walter Goggins' character looking at it with his daughter and like just all the kids watching the TV, and it was just so good, and her putting her thumb up. And her realizing that she can still see the mushroom cloud behind it. And like her dad just said a few minutes ago, that means you're screwed. and seeing his face of disbelief, and then just cutting to 200 something years later and you're in a vault. I mean, that's just that's the Fallout formula, and I love it so much. The comedy sticks. It has the Fallout comedy. First off, I'm hearing, it's also crazy because I'm hearing songs in the game that I put on my Pip-Boy, and I paused it when the camera's on the Pip-Boy, and it's the exact same menu. Stats, inventory, data, map, radio. It's just identical, and I love that. I just love the way they do Easter eggs in this show. Like, obviously, they couldn't just be like, oh, wow, that's the Lone Wanderer from Fallout 3 or the Sole Survivor from Fallout 4. No, it's not like that. But, like, you just get these name drops. Like, the Brotherhood of S.P.E.C.I.A.L in this show and the factions you see are just so well done because the Brotherhood of S.P.E.C.I.A.L is exactly that. They want to find tech and all that. People are like, well, actually, in California, at this timeline, they didn't do that. Like I said, they're smart by putting this 10 years past Fallout 4 because they can do whatever they want with the Brotherhood of S.P.E.C.I.A.L. They can have them, oh, they're in California for fuck all. Who cares, right? And I love that. It's just so good seeing all these things like in live action because the games just felt so real at times on their political commentary. They're like just in their atmosphere. I mean, when there's a scene where he walks into a vault. This one guy, I'm not going to say who or what the situation is, and you just see it, like, decimated a little bit and, like, destroyed, and, like, by raiders or whatever, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's literally me in, like, Fallout 4 going into a vault that's run by raiders, and it's so crazy, and I'm the type of guy that freaks out because I'm like, oh my god, they mentioned the Commonwealth, that's Boston, wait, that's Fallout 4, that could be happening over here, where's this guy, I wonder where these characters are at, and it's so cool to think about, like, these characters that are in your game are just out there somewhere in the world. And it's so nerdy and it's so fucking stupid for something to be as hype for me about. But I just love it. I mean, all my friends that play Fallout, I recommend this show. Even if you don't watch Fallout, I recommend this show because it's hard hitting at times, like the opening scene. But man, the comedy is right and the action. Like you see hella blood. It's TVMA, and you see the blood and all this, but with like a 1950s song on it, and you're just like, that's Fallout, and it's incredible. I'm so excited for people to see this show, and I'm so excited to finish it too. I might make a video on it, probably not, when I finish this show, but oh man, it's so good. I hope there's more of this, and even more spin-off stories in this world, because this world is truly incredible, and it has like 20 years of lore. It's up there with Halo. Halo's been running for like 20 something years. Fallout 1 came out in like 1998. I mean, the lore has been building forever, so this world is so detailed and intricate, and I love it, and I'm glad that Fallout fans can get this, because like I said, I mean, Fallout 4 was great. 76 was bad at launch. Now it's good, and we haven't had a game since then. It's been 6 years. So this show coming out is just revitalizing my love for Fallout, and I hope you guys please go watch it. I'm giving Fallout a 9 out of 10, guys. I'm so happy. Yes, it's probably a professional reviewer will probably give it a 7 because this script is ass, and this video... No, I'm a fanboy of Fallout. I fucking love this shit. Please go watch it. If you watched it already, let me know what you thought down below. If you haven't watched it, go watch it and come back and tell me how it is. And if you know me in real life, just snap me or text me. I'd love to talk about Fallout with anyone I know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.